Hey, how's it going, guys? Garcia here with your daily portfolio update. So in this video, I'll break down the portfolio, show you the moves that I made today, share some of the posts from Twitter, and give the shoutouts at the very end. Okay, so let's get to it. Today looks like we are down today to $302,309.44 after hours. So let's see what's going on over here. In the Roth IRA, we're down almost 2% today. Year to date, we're up 4.8%, and we're up 143% all time, going back to December 11th of 2023. Buying power has gone down to $2. And why is that? That is because I bought another contract of AMD today. I set a limit order for $570. There it is. And it went through. So, lowered my average. I started buying them at $8. So, I'll take it. If AMD continues to slide down, I'll continue to just, adding, buying, and holding. Okay. Here is the total percent return. And here is the equity. There you go. Okay. Let's check out the big account. We're down 1.7% today. Year to date, we're down 2.6%. And all time, we're up 195%, going back to August 2nd of 2021. Buying power has gone up to 161,000. And that is because I rolled the cash secured put on Rocket Lab. So yesterday I had these puts expiring today at $27. And at the very last minute, I closed out the contract. It was around 2:30, 2:45, around here, when I said, you know what, I could risk it and just let them expire worthless, or buy them back at a penny and then roll. But I didn't want to risk it. Maybe it could like fall in the last 5 minutes and really go into the money, making it more expensive to roll. So I didn't want to risk that. So I rolled it right 15 minutes left to go. Here it is. So by rolling, I locked in the profits on the original $27 contracts. So I did get an 80% return on that contract that I rolled. And I received a credit of $1,600, $1,630. And that is for selling 16 contracts at $26.50, expiring next week. And because I lowered the strike from 27 to 26, I reduced my risk a little bit, but I also brought in a couple more dollars into the account by removing it from collateral, because we're no longer tying up the collateral for $27 a share. Now we're only tying up for $26.50. Okay, so this is the total percent change. So we've locked in now in the past couple of days. We locked in 80% profits on covered calls and cash secured puts on Rocket Lab. And that is because Rocket Lab stayed range bound in between the two strikes. So it stayed below $32, below $31, and it stayed, I wouldn't say above 27, but it didn't go below it. So because it was approaching 27 right on expiration, the value of the contract was still dropping, but I could have been assigned if I didn't do anything. And I do want to avoid assignment on these. Anyway, we're up 68% on these Palantir covered calls. I am thinking of rolling them on Monday, or buying to close them and either immediately opening some up. I think that's just what I'm going to do. I think I would just roll. I would buy to close at 5 cents or wherever it opens, and sell to open some new contracts expiring next week. I would look at January 24th, and I would look at 0.1 delta around this range over here, 80, 79, 78. Like I'm thinking probably 78 would give a good return for the risk. But when it comes to earnings, I would probably reduce the position size down to half, because I would still probably play earnings with a small amount, but not the entire position. Anyway, so here's the total return, and here is the equity. There it is. So realized profit and loss, year to date, we're up $5,000. We've locked in $5,600 worth of gains with the covered calls, cash secured puts, and I don't think I've sold any Palantir shares so far this year. So I think it's just coming from just the premiums. Okay, so let's go on to what's going on Twitter. Let's see. Eliana, whenever someone is wearing bootleg Palantir merch. Oh. Oh.
Don't look at them. Do not look at them. No, do not look at them. Do not look at them. Don't
tell us how you really feel.
You know what? I'll tell you how I really feel. Listen, I really feel like you're an asshole who has nothing interesting to say.
Everyone's like, why are the stocks flat? Rocket Lab and NASA. Rocket Lab is partnering up with NASA. They have been chosen to be part of the agency's Vader contract, which they will be a part of this contract along with other, space companies. So they're not the only ones. This is a $300 million potential across all contracts. So not $300 million going directly to Rocket Lab. But I think every partnership deserves this.
Tell them to bring me my money.
So I was thinking about this yesterday. I see these types of comments everywhere. This is not directed to anyone in particular. If the shoe fits, wear it. I'm not talking about you specifically. So I see comments where they're like, should I be buying X stock now? Or should I be buying X, should I be selling this stock now? What's everyone doing? Should I do this? I think those are the wrong questions. Because in investing, everyone is investing for themselves and for their family. Unless it's a financial advisor situation where it's protected by the law and what you're doing or what you're getting into, you shouldn't be taking direct advice from people online. Even if they're like friends or them and they're telling you, oh yeah, buy this stock or sell this stock. You can be introduced to a stock, but you don't have to buy and hold it just because someone else is doing it. You have to have your own conviction in it. So anyway, you're asking the wrong question, and anyone telling you yes or no isn't doing you any favors. Watch videos, read books, have discussions, bounce ideas around, but don't ask strangers what to do on a day-to-day basis, because eventually you will get taken advantage of by people in the finance space. There's people who will pretend to be your friend. They will pretend to be your coach, and they'll try to take you under their wing, but then they're going to want you to pay for it. They're going to say, oh, my time is money. You need to pay me for this advice, and I'll do whatever. I think there's very, very, very few people that I can think of that could do this, and it's just in my opinion, people should be kind of thinking for themselves. They shouldn't be relying on others to tell them what to do with their portfolio, when to buy, when to sell. So anyway, I think that I had to respond to Amir here. Amir said, what books do you recommend? This one. I mean, to be honest, I don't read many finance books. I'm just kind of going off of what I'm kind of learning on the job. Been learning on the job for a couple of years. This is pretty wild. It's crazy seeing how much more money covered calls can bring the portfolio as the stock goes up in value. So selling 8% out of the money contracts expiring in 3 weeks, that used to pay $2,000. So this was back when Palantir was around 24, I think it was, or whatever the 8% difference is. From 24 to 26, these are covered calls. They were paying $2,000 for 34 contracts. Now, selling 8% out of the money contracts on 34 contracts at these prices are now paying you $7,400 for 3 weeks. Of course, you know, this is not telling you to sell these contracts going out to January 31st. Everybody has to decide which contract, which strikes, which dates, what works with you, what doesn't. I'm just kind of highlighting how as the price goes up in the strike, how the stock price goes up, the premiums you receive are going to go up by a lot. Like, I knew that back then, but it's just crazy to see this less than a year later. Same number of contracts, same, I guess, risk profile, right? It's 8% out of the money. It's not like a $2 out of the money. It's 8% out of whatever the strike is, and similar expiration period. I just thought it was interesting. This one's for the Palantir short sale.
To me, what his reasons are.
Speed, listen to me. Eloise's brother Hap has got to win. Please let him.
Why should I let him win? I'm out to win myself. Now sign off and don't bother me.
But Hap must win so that he can pay for the doctors to make his sister well. And besides, Hap would then be hired to manage a big car factory. That would solve all their money problems. Please let him win, Speed.
It doesn't matter to me what his reasons are for wanting to win. I wouldn't be playing fair if I let him win the race on purpose.
But Speed.
I'll see you when the race is over, Trixie.
But Eloise is ill. They must have some money. Please let him win, Speed. 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 Speed.
Speed wins!
All right, and here, just kind of explaining, with 15 minutes left to expiration, I rolled the $27 cash good puts down to $26.50. So here is the 80% realized profit on the original contract and the premium that I received for rolling the contract. Okay, it looks like that's going to be it for today, guys. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I appreciate you guys. I have received comments that they like the way I kind of break down the portfolio, the way I narrate. I'm glad you guys do like it. I do appreciate the feedback. If you have any constructive feedback, I will take it as well. So I do appreciate any feedback you do have for the channel. You know, please leave a comment. Leave a comment if you stuck around to the very end. I appreciate all of you guys, especially, you know, like regular viewers, people who are part of the community that's kind of growing here. I think for the sake of transparency, I think it's very important. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys all for your time. And I will see you guys on Monday. So have a good weekend.